Just when the world believed the Gosselin family saga couldn't get any more heartbreaking, a ghost from the past emerged from the shadows. For years, the story has been dominated by the explosive claims of Collin Gosselin, the estranged son who alleged a childhood of abuse and isolation. He has stood largely alone, his voice a solitary cry against the family that made him famous. But in the wake of his most desperate public plea to his siblings, a single, fleeting image has emerged that changes everything. It wasn't a statement, an interview, or a confession. It was something far more subtle, and in its own way, more devastating. A rare, blink-and-you'll-miss-it appearance by his sister, Alexis. For a moment, the world held its breath. Was this the crack in the wall? The sign of a sibling reaching out? The reality turned out to be far more shocking. A silent gut punch to her brother's hope, and a chilling confirmation of where the battle lines in this fractured family are truly drawn. Before the implosion, they were an inseparable unit of 8. On the hit reality show Jon Kate Plus 8, the Gosselin children were a team, a bustling, color-coordinated pack navigating a life under the glare of television cameras. Alexis, one of the sextuplets, was a familiar face in this chaotic but seemingly happy picture. She, along with her 7 siblings, grew up in the public eye, their shared childhood a commodity for millions of viewers. They were portrayed as a tight-knit group, facing the surreal pressures of fame together. This image of unity, of us against the world, became the foundation of their public identity. It was a picture of a normal, loving family, just amplified to an extraordinary degree. But that picture was a fantasy, a carefully curated image that would eventually shatter, leaving the siblings to choose sides in a war they never asked for. Alexis, who had since retreated into a life of near total privacy, was about to be thrust back into the center of it, not by her own words, but by a single power. The inciting incident was a digital cry for help. In a series of raw and emotional TikTok posts, Collin Gosselin laid his heart bare for the world to see. He posted old photos of him and his siblings, their young faces beaming, set to the haunting melody of Adele's Hometown Glory. The captions were devastating. "Born to be a team, us against the world," he wrote, "forced to do it alone, and wonder every day what our lives could have looked like." He spoke directly to the siblings he hadn't seen in years, lamenting how they were forced apart, pitted against each other. He talked about the tears he shed behind closed doors, mourning the memories they could have shared. It was a public plea, a desperate message in a bottle cast into the vast ocean of the internet, hoping to reach the shores of his estranged family. For anyone watching, it was a moment of profound vulnerability from a young man who claimed to have lost everything. The world waited to see if any of his siblings would answer. The answer came just days later, and it was the story's most shocking revelation yet. But it wasn't the answer anyone expected. There was no heartfelt message, no phone call, no sibling reunion. Instead, the response was a quiet, domestic scene posted on their mother Kate's new TikTok account. In a video of Kate packing her lunch for a 12-hour nursing shift, a young woman walks through the kitchen. It's Alexis. She gives her mother a hug and a kiss before heading out the door. "Ride carefully and text me when you get there, please," Kate calls out. "Love you," Alexis replies sweetly. That was it. A few seconds of mundane family life. But the timing was everything. Just one day after Collin's public anguish over his shattered family, here was Alexis, appearing happy, healthy, and lovingly at their mother's side. The public had seen a son's desperate plea for connection. The response was a visual confirmation that the battle lines were firmly drawn. The silent appearance was a statement louder than any press release could ever be. The chain reaction of this brief cameo was brutal. It was a public, albeit subtle, rejection of Collin's olive branch. It served as a heartbreaking reminder of the very isolation he was mourning. While Collin was alone, speaking of a lost team, Alexis was visually demonstrating that her team was still intact, and it was centered around their mother. The internet immediately understood the devastating subtext. Comment sections exploded with viewers noting the surprise appearance and what it signified. For Collin, it was likely a painful confirmation that his words had not broken through the wall that has stood between him and his siblings for years. The family was not just estranged, they were now participating in a silent, public war of perception. And Alexis had just fired a powerful shot on behalf of her mother. The image shattered any lingering hope that the Gosselin children might one day present a united front to heal their fractured past. This moment perfectly illustrates the ongoing attempts to control the narrative in the Gosselin saga. It's a war fought not in courtrooms, but on social media, with every post and every comment carrying immense weight. On one side, you have Collin's raw, unfiltered testimony, filled with detailed allegations of abuse and desperate pleas for his family. On the other, you have Kate's calculated and cryptic strategy. She has publicly dismissed Collin's claims with a curt, "He knows why." And now, she has deployed a far more powerful weapon, a video showcasing a loving, normal relationship with another one of her children. She doesn't need to fight back against Collin's dark allegations directly. This simple, wholesome clip does it for her. It paints a picture of her as a caring, protective mother, adored by her daughter. It's a masterful, if cold, move in a public relations chess game where the pawns are her own children. Today, long after the reality show has ended, the aftermath is a family irrevocably broken. Collin and Hannah remain on one side, allied with their father. The other 6 siblings, including Alexis, appear